Royal fans cry out loud as Kate, sobbing, reminisces touching moments with Queen Elizabeth. England lost its leader, Queen Elizabeth II, earlier on Thursday when she sadly passed away at the age of 96. Members of the royal family have been paying tribute to their monarch and their matriarch and the leader of the firm, who was Britain's longest reigning monarch and the head of state for 70 years. The then Princess Elizabeth ascended the throne when she was just 25 when her father, King George VI, passed away. Buckingham Palace was the first to report the tragedy, confirming on its socials that she died. Following the Queen's death, Prince Charles, 73, became King Charles III as the Queen's oldest son and heir. The death of my beloved mother, Her Majesty the Queen, is a moment of great sadness for me and all members of my family. We mourn profoundly the passing of a cherished sovereign and a much-loved mother. I know her loss will be deeply felt throughout the country, the realms, and the Commonwealth, and by countless people around the world. Kate Middleton and Prince William received the deeply disheartening news and will inevitably talk about the Queen in a statement when the time is right. A few hours after the Queen's passing, on September 8th, the Cambridges had updated their Twitter accounts to reflect the additional title. They are now the Duke and Duchess of Cornwall and Cambridge. Titles certainly come with royal territory, but in an effort to modernize the monarchy, the royals have begun to go by their first names, introducing themselves as William or Catherine rather than a word salad of royal jargon. Prince William, who is second in line to the British throne, made the voyage to Scotland promptly after leaving Adelaide Cottage earlier today. William's wife, Kate Middleton, did not travel to Scotland and stayed behind at their home in Windsor, England, possibly to look after their 3 children. Sharing their sadness in a deeply heartfelt message, William and Kate wrote on Instagram, "The Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow." Kate, who is Duchess of Cornwall and Cambridge until further notice, appeared to acknowledge that she would one day become Princess of Wales in an encounter with a member of the public at Cardiff Castle in Wales in June of this year. Queen Elizabeth, who was crowned in 1953 and died at the age of 96, had provided a stellar example for Middleton, now 40, who has taken to heart her approach to the job in many areas, including her sense of duty, her steadiness, and even her approach to fashion. Middleton's keep calm and carry on attitude was reminiscent of a towering figure in British society, Queen Elizabeth II, and suggested that Middleton, who was raised a commoner, had been absorbing valuable lessons from her husband's grandmother. And in one particular instance, the monarch had signaled to Middleton and the public that she had most definitely approved of her role in the firm. The Duchess of Cambridge also understands one of the Queen's biggest concerns when she was alive, as one of the biggest challenges during her reign came from the media's unrelenting focus on the private lives of her children and grandchildren. While the entire country went into mourning, the Queen remained at her summer residence at Balmoral Castle in Scotland and initially resisted calls for flags to be flown at half-mast over Buckingham Palace. "Show us you care. Not one word has come from the royal lip. Not one tear has been shed in public from a royal eye." The Queen, who had been staying with her grandsons after the death of their mother, finally returned to London 5 days after the princess's death and delivered a televised address. She described Diana as an exceptional and gifted human being who had made many, many people happy, though she stopped short of expressing personal affection for her late daughter-in-law. The royal court has a staff hotline for distributing news and instructions to employees in case of a major event. Most staff members at the palace and associated institutions will be immediately sent home once the announcement has been made, a former staff member of the palace told Insider.